Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here, and welcome to Doki Doki Shattered Time Rewind. Now you might be wondering, but ArdrethShadow, didn't you play this already? Well, one, I'm surprised anyone realizes that I played it, since most people didn't really watch the dev commentary. But also, yes, I did. However, we put out a newer version, and frankly, it made some changes that I think were much needed. So, with that in mind, here we go. Shattered Time Rewind is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod, and designed to be played after the official game. Spoilers are in there. Download it here, not here. And I agree with the fish thing! I made that. Okay then. So we're back to this familiar menu. And let's go ahead and get started. Oh, why hello there, players. When the moon rises in the sky, a night full of drama, passion, and the bizarre often waits for you. Good evening and welcome to the show. I'm your ardent vixen of love, Akane Kotobuki. You may also know me as the Black Rose. I'm here on behalf of the gentlemen of Team Trader since they aren't able to greet you themselves. Except for one of them. Hey everyone, ArdrethShadow here. I'll be your guide for the night ahead of us of twists, turns, and love. So tell me, players, how far are you willing to go to save someone you love? Would you jump in front of a train for them? Would you tear down the sky for them? Would you perhaps risk breaking all the rules of time and space? Have I got a story for you, then? A cycle full of love and loss between Dang it. A cycle full of love and loss between two star-crossed lovers across time. Almost like a modern Romeo and Juliet, but with a bit of magic involved. And minus Leonardo DiCaprio, of course. Anyway, let me just ask you one last question before we get started. Have you heard the tragedy of Terankos the Tyrant? A young man struggling with his feelings and depression gets to hear it for himself. When he's sent back in time to save a girl he keeps telling himself doesn't mean anything to him. Well, if that's the case, love, then why are you willing to mess with the flow of time itself just to save her life? Mixed signals much? Love can be amusing. Love can sure be amusing, can it? There's no telling what a person is willing to do in the name of love. They might do something so outrageous, all logic and reason go out the window. Or they might even find the inner strength in themselves they never knew they had. Anyway, why don't we get on with the show? I bet you're all just dying to see what's in store for you all. I'll catch you later, my forlorn hearts. June 4th, 2019. Hey, do you think I'd be better off dead? That question. Just what was that question? As I take my usual route to school, I run the events through my head again. I was just sitting in my homeroom when that bombshell was dropped on me. It came out of nowhere and directed at me, of all people. Natsuki, a girl who sat behind me in class, asked that without any warning. To me, of all people. We weren't really that well acquainted, despite sitting close to each other in the same class. It's for that reason that I was left stupefied when she asked. I preferred not to get myself involved with anyone, especially after. No. I told myself I wouldn't think about her again. Quit living in the past already. I have to keep moving forward and not dwell on pointless things. It makes me weak. At least that's what my father used to tell me. Not that what he says really matters anymore, ever since my parents' divorce and all. Honestly, he wasn't much of a father to me to begin with. That's why I just call him Old Man instead. He doesn't deserve to be called my father. I wish I could forget about him. I wish I could forget about this town while I'm at it. As I make my way through the door, I find myself being shoved to the side by another student. I look to see who it was. Oh, come on. Of course. Out of all the people in the world, it's him. Jorichiro Urameshi. Oops, too slow! Aw, look at little Edgelord Jr. Are you gonna cry? I just ignore the gorilla in front of me and walk right on by. Hey! Quit ignoring me! I'm sorry. I don't speak monkey. Banana. I walk away before he can respond. Whatever. Not interested in anything he says. I'm sure he'll try to hunt me down and beat me up later, but I can't stand that guy. Jorichiro is such a conceited jerk and an infamous womanizer to boot. Frankly, I think he's a waste of oxygen. In cases like this, it's best to ignore him and his stupidity. Who knows? Maybe I'll live longer if I do that. Last class for the day. It's a free period. School was relatively boring today, save for one thing. At the beginning of our first class, the teacher stood in front of everyone and spoke in a somber tone. He had an announcement to make. Sometime between last night and this morning, Natsuki was found dead in her home. The teacher couldn't say what was the cause of her death, even noting how the authorities were still determining what happened. Knowing how they work, it's hopeless. The probable cause of her death might as well be lost to the darkness. There is only one thing that was clear. Natsuki Sairanshi has passed away. I asked out of curiosity in the hopes of getting a straight answer, but that's all the teacher would say. I didn't want to ask any further questions to avoid looking suspicious and to respect her privacy. The day continued on as it normally did, albeit without Natsuki sitting behind me. To be honest, I don't care all that much. I don't care that a classmate I hardly ever spoke to is gone. I don't care that she won't ever be sitting behind me ever again. I don't care that I'll never see her again. Do I? I have no strong feelings one way or the other about this whole thing. Right? No. No, her death won't affect me at all. The school day continued without her. The world will continue without her. Just like Old Man used to tell me. Yet, why did she confide in me with that loaded question? We didn't have any sense of closeness, yet she asked me that loaded question anyway. Like a shot in the dark. A soft laugh pulls me from my thoughts and back to reality. Why, hello there, Daniel. You're looking rather down in the dumps today. Penny for your thoughts. I'm fine, thanks. Amy Shido. Just another girl in my class, and yet something about her rubs me the wrong way. I have never spoken to her, nor has she ever spoken to me. This might be the first time she's approached me like this. From what I understand, she and Natsuki spoke to each other a lot. I'm not sure if they were friends, rivals, or something else entirely. Considering how their relationship didn't affect me, I never questioned anything. Not my business, so not my place to poke around. Oh, I don't know. That doesn't sound like someone who's feeling fine. If something is bothering you, then just tell me already. This is the first real time you've ever spoken to me, Amy. What does it matter to you how I'm feeling? Oh, wait, I think I understand now. So then you're super annoyed at me because I never talked to you, right? Yet here I am, shooting the breeze with you out of the blue, like everything is sugar-coated rainbows. Something like that, but you didn't answer my question. What does it matter to you how I'm feeling? I don't know. It's just that the whole situation kind of reminds me of something. I raise an eyebrow at her. What is she getting at? Something you're awfully familiar with, if I'm not mistaken. Listen here, you little bit... Oh, this tiger has fangs. I like it. You have some nerve even hinting at her to me like it's no big deal. You're right. How insensitive of me. Barely a year has gone by since then, hasn't it? I remain silent. If she's trying to piss me off, you can bet it's working. Anyway, I came over here because I wanted to ask you for a favor. A favor? Me? Get someone else to do it. I don't owe you a damn thing. I hardly know anything about you outside of your spider fetish. Really? There's no need for judgment, Daniel. Everyone is free to like whatever they want so long as there's no harm unto anyone. That's what Natsuki would say. Her voice lowers when she mentions Natsuki's name. I never stop to think how this might be affecting her. If you're here to ask for advice about coping with loss, then find someone else. I'm no good at that kind of thing. No, that's not it. Then is there a point to your little lecture? You're not a teacher, last time I checked. Looks like someone got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Or is this what you're always like? I don't know. I never really stopped to think about it. Getting back to the point here, I wanted to ask you to do a favor for me. Can you guess what it is? Don't know, don't care, but I bet you're gonna tell me anyway. Cut to the chase already or buzz off, you spider-obsessed freak. You're such a jerk! You know that? Huh, wow. Tell me something I don't know. You're such a difficult man. Reason won't reach a solution. Anyway, your rudeness aside, I wanted to see if you could help out Nat. You're the only one who can do that. You're speaking in rhyme. How the hell do you figure that? Stop acting like we're casual friends here. She went over and talked to you yesterday, remember? I know this because I was watching you both. Do you stalk people in your free time? What kind of sick pervert are you? While you were at it, did you take pictures of us for those long, lonely nights? For the love of... Would you cut it out already? Would you just cut it out already? Seriously, what is with you today? Are you having a bad day? Or are you just naturally an insufferable jerk? Who knows? Maybe I'm born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. You're an idiot. You're a pervert. Anyway, back on topic. Natsuki chose to ask you for help instead of asking me that day. I'm her good friend, so you would think I would be a natural choice for her, but nope. What are you talking about? She didn't ask me for any help. She just asked me some random question like it was no big deal. A cryptic as hell kind of question. Is that what happened? I figured as much. You see, Nat was the kind of girl who wouldn't ask for help directly, even if she wanted it. She often figured it would only bother people if she went to them about her problems. In turn, she was afraid to say anything at the risk of bothering or offending someone. Poor Nat, she was such a sweet, considerate girl. Maybe a bit too considerate, though, if you ask me. That just might have been her undoing. Okay, so let's say you have a plan to help her. How are you going to do this? Last time I checked, the dead can't just return to life like nothing. It's not like there's some red star out in the sky that can zap the deceased back to life. Funny. It's truly funny you should say that, because I have something to tell you. Okay, now what? If that's what you're worried about, then allow me to explain some things to you. Tell me, have you ever heard the tragedy of Terankos the Tyrant? No. Should I? I didn't think so. It's not a story most people would go around telling. A long time ago in a distant realm, there were two brothers. The eldest brother was named Articus, and he was revered by all. The younger brother was Terankos, who was often feared and even despised by most people. They actually had a younger sister, but we don't talk about her. That no-good floozy. What? What? Never mind. Just, whatever, keep going. They came from a magically powerful family, and as such, were gifted with unimaginable power. Articus had the power of creation, and could create almost anything with his knowledge and skills. That is, except for living things, of course. We don't talk about that either. So long as it existed, he could create it. And if it didn't, he'd toil away in his workshop to make it a reality. Terankos had power over time, and could even rewrite history, but only once for anyone who dared ask him to. To some, he was an almighty time wizard who contributed much to society. Others saw his ability to manipulate time as frightening. Even so, he did his best to try helping those around him. Although no matter what he did, his accomplishments were always eclipsed by those of his brother. This whole thing sounds like a load of crap, and yet I can't bring myself to stop her from spinning this web of nonsense. One day, after a push from his floozy sister, and after experiencing a terrible accident, Terankos descended into madness. At that moment, he had a sudden epiphany. He saw how revered his brother was, and how, despite his best efforts, he was seen as an outcast. A potential threat, even. In a fit of jealousy and anger, he planned to kill his brother out of revenge and spite upon making this realization. His efforts were thwarted by Articus, who created a prison for him and cast him into a realm beyond human comprehension. A sort of pocket dimension, if you will. That wasn't the last of him, however, as he refused to be silenced. So, what happened to him? Thanks to Articus, he was trapped in that pocket dimension with no way of escape. He's still trapped there to this day. Eventually, however, a cult known as the Dark Interlopers made contact with him. After making a deal, he shared his wisdom of magic and the dark arts with them. This shared knowledge of dark magic is how anyone can make a wish to him. One can simply make a wish to Terankos, so long as the proper ritual is performed. Upon doing so, he will rewrite the past for you once. Should you get greedy with him, then your request is outright denied. In the best-case scenario. Depending on how he feels that day, he could do much worse. Believe me when I say I've heard stories of what he can do. It's not pretty. Assuming this isn't just some fairy tale and you're saying this Terankos could actually rewrite time. Yes, but as I said, only at one given point in time per wish. Anything more, and you'll be lucky if Terankos leaves you with all your limbs. There's no way this is real. Oh no, Daniel, Terankos exists. So does Articus and that floozy younger sister of theirs. I know this for a fact, as I met Terankos myself. Okay, you're one serious freak chick, and you need a lot of therapy. Better yet, maybe they should send you to the funny farm. Give a call so they'll be coming to take you away. Or maybe put you in a box, floating down the river. Whatever. I don't want to hear anything you have to say to me. Not interested. You've met him too, Daniel. As I'm walking away from her, I stop in my tracks to look back at Amy. She smiles devilishly at me. Her eyes are almost beckoning me. What could she mean with that? Before I can ask her, the bell rings, signaling the end of classes for the day. I take a quick glance at the clock. I look back over at her and she signals me to follow her. I don't want to follow her, but then she starts harmonizing her voice. All of a sudden, my body relaxes and she makes her way over to me, a devious smile on her face. Pay attention to these next lyrics because they will be important later. What is she doing? Okay, these lyrics. She runs her fingers up my arm and then starts to fumble with a strand of my hair. With an almost seductive smile on her face, Amy begins to walk away, returning to the open door. My body begins to move on its own. Against my better judgment, I comply with her. For some reason, I feel as though I can't refuse her. It's as though I'm under the control of a siren's song. Amy takes me to the courtyard, right in front of the fountain. Let's play in the fountain, guys! Okay, no, let's not. My body keeps resisting me. I almost feel like some stupid puppet on strings. I continue to mindlessly follow her as if under a trance. I am snapped out of it when she briefly clears her throat. What the... Huh? You know good little... Ugh, you know what? Whatever. Okay, Amy, enough of this fortune cookie nonsense. What do you want from me? Amy rummages around in her backpack, mumbling to herself. After a few moments, she produces 2 linked bracelets, 1 gold and 1 silver. Here we go. These bracelets are known as the chains of Terankos and represent the link between the 2 brothers. More specifically, the bonds placed on him by Ardrethshadow when he performed that ritual that imprisoned him. Okay, that's nice and all, but how the hell do you have them then? Oh, it's easy to make these. All you need are 2 bracelets you're willing to sacrifice, and the right ingredients to soak them in. I take it no one is going to miss those then? Ooh, my Daniel, are you concerned about me? No. I could care less what happens to you. Wow, Daniel, tell me how you really feel. I just want to know what you're getting me into so I don't end up some accomplice to whatever crime you're cooking up. Even if it's not something illegal, I don't want to know what she's out there reading in her free time. Or what goes on in that twisted mind of hers, for that matter. I can assure you, what we're doing is not illegal. At least, I don't think it is. I'm out of here. Don't you want to help Nat? Why are you so obsessed with her? Ignoring that. Anyway, just put your left arm in the silver bracelet and your right arm in the gold one. Then all you have to do is say the magic words and everything will make sense. And those magic words would be... You're going to simply say, Terankos, I've come to bargain, 8 times as you hold out your arms with the bracelets. You're not going to leave me alone until I do this right. Good grief. Fine. I'll play along and prove to you that this is utter nonsense. On the off chance that I die, though, stay away from my funeral. Understood. Now let's get to it. Time's a-wasting. It's not cute when you say that if that's what you're thinking. Amy holds out the bracelets one more time, looking at me expectantly. I groan as I slide my arms into the respective bracelets. She takes a few steps back as I hold both of my arms out straight. I can't believe I'm going to do this. Why am I? I'm smarter than this. Maybe it's because I feel bad for her seeing as she's lost a friend, who she is oddly obsessed with. I guess I pity her in a way. Well, Probably best that I don't think about it. Terankos, I've come to bargain. Nothing happened. 8 times, right? Terankos, I've come to bargain. Terankos, I've come to bargain. Terankos, I've come to bargain. I'm halfway there. Terankos, I've come to bargain. Terankos, I've come to bargain. Terankos, I've come to bargain. Last one. Terankos, I've come to bargain. That's all 8 times. Just as I'm about to call out Amy for being too obsessed with creepy occult stuff, I feel the bracelets constrict and bind my arms together. What the hell's going on here? I look over at Amy, who giggles devilishly to herself. And tally how and away you go! Why, you little... I feel as though my arms and legs are being grabbed and stretched out over a long distance. The sensation is overwhelming. As my consciousness begins to fade, I look back at Amy, who has a sinister smile on her face. That demented little bitch. As I fade away, my mind suddenly drifts to Natsuki. Why, though? Why am I thinking about her now? I mean, it all sounds so damn crazy, but she can be saved? By me, of all people? But out of everyone in the world, why me, though? How many times has it been now? Tell me, young one, do you know what it is you desire the most? Do you still not understand? Have your failures taught you nothing? Pitiful, insane, pathetic. Fate is called as such as it cannot be changed, nor can it be reversed. It can only but be accepted. Can you truly defy fate and deny it, though? No matter how many times you try to turn the hands of fate, you will always arrive at the same result. You have come back to me still. You have come back to me, and still you seek answers. Who is this? What the hell what is he saying? Whoever this is, I've never met him before. What's he talking about? Curious. We have met so many times, and yet you do not remember me. I'm wounded. Then again, I suppose it is only natural. Clearly, you have not learned anything across each attempt you've made. If you fail to understand this process, after having gone through it so many times, then feel free to continue with your fruitless struggle. You have learned nothing, and as such, you are doomed to fall into darkness as you repeat this time period. When you awake, you will be at your destination. May you make the correct choice this time. June 3rd, 2019. What just happened? I wake up to find myself laying on the ground. And now you're lying on the cold, hard ground. Okay, I still don't remember the lyrics to that song, and I honestly don't even like that song very much to begin with, but damn it! It's like, it lives, well, okay, it doesn't live rent-free in my head, but it does have, like, little things like this where it's like, oh yeah, I remember that song. It's like, oh, damn it. I sit up just to see that I'm right outside of a house I've never seen before. Where the hell am I? Did that crazy ritual actually work? Who lives here? Somebody who's loaded, at least according to some comments I've seen made about the mod. As I get to my feet, a calming night breeze wraps itself around me. A gently shining moon greets me as I look up into the sky. This is a rather calming summer night. The house stands before me, exuding an unsettling aura contradicting the serene feeling of the night. Its large shape stands proud and imposing before me as I approach the gate. My knees grow weak as I get closer. I take a look at the name engraved above the mailbox. Sairenji. That's Natsuki's family name, all right. This has to be the right place. I place my hand against the gate, causing it to creak open with just my touch. I pull my hand back. What am I doing right now? I take a few steps back before turning around and trying to figure out what neighborhood I'm in. This isn't right. I have to get out of here. I don't know what the hell is happening, but I can't stay here. As I'm running down the street, I try to see if anything around me looks familiar. No dice. I screech to a halt when I hear a familiar voice. A very idiotic, familiar voice. Great. Thinking quickly, I hide behind a wall before anyone can spot me. Or before anyone spots me. I don't think he saw me. I peek my head just a little bit. Yeah, sure enough, it's him. So, how about you and I get together this weekend and...
Joichiro, get away from me or else I'm gonna seriously call the police on you. No means no, alright? I've gotta get home now. Please stop bothering me.
Joichiro usually stays a bit after school for sports practice. As a school soccer star, it makes sense. Meanwhile, I've only seen her around school a little, but I think this girl stays for band practice. It's no surprise getting to see Joichiro shot down for being a total creep. I still remember the day Destiny Tenjuin, the school volleyball star, shot him down in front of everyone. To be fair, Destiny is probably one of the most attractive girls in our year, so I can't blame him for trying. Tall, lean, toned, and a fiery personality to go with that red hair of hers. She's beautiful, but she can kick your ass if she wanted to. She's also got quite the attitude, based on how she totally humiliated him back in March. Damn, that was pure gold. Seeing him go after that girl, though. I didn't think he was as desperate and pathetic outside of school, too. As the girl walks off in the opposite direction, Joichiro starts sulking as he goes his own way. He passes right by me and goes up to a rather sad-looking house on the corner. Huh, so that's where he lives. Thankfully, he didn't see me. I step out of the shadows and resume trying to find my way back home. It's not long after I find myself in familiar territory. Yes! This is my neighborhood! I spot my house and I make my way over. My mom should be asleep right about now, so I'm gonna have to sneak in there quietly. I fish out the house keys from my pocket and quietly unlock the door. Then, I gently open the door and step foot inside. I don't sneak out too often, but I sort of got the hang of it enough so Mom won't know. Not exactly something I'm proud of, but whatever. I'd rather not have to explain to her what I was doing because I don't even know myself. Yeah, I just woke up at this random girl's house because I got told by some perverted redhead chick to save her. Even I'm having trouble believing it. Well, I'm not going to worry about it now. I change and get ready for bed. Hopefully I can put this strange experience out of my mind, but for now, it's best I don't worry about that. June 4th, 2019. It's time for another day at school. I got up as I usually did. Thankfully, it seems Mom didn't notice I was missing last night, so I don't have to explain anything to her. Good. No idea if somehow Amy drugged me or what, but I'd rather not make Mom worry.
Besides, last night is something I'd like to forget, if I'm being honest. Maybe some mind-numbing school will help me with that. Because it'll be mind-numbing and repetitive, just like daytime television. I wish I could forget about Amy while I'm at it. That insane freak chick. They say gingers don't have souls, but I never took that dumb joke seriously. After talking with her, Amy kind of fits that description. Admittedly, she's easy on the eyes and falls into that shy, cute nerd girl category. At least until she opens her mouth and starts talking. Then that cute redhead nerd girl becomes a psycho into some real freaky deaky stuff. Ignore the thing I have for redheads. Amy Shido is one seriously messed up chick. As I make my way through the door, I find myself shoved to the side by another student. I look to see who it was. Oh. And of course, it's him. Whoops, too slow. Ah, look at little Edgelord Jr. Are you gonna cry? At least I'm not hitting up girls on my way home. At least I'm not hitting up on girls on my way home like a loser. Some of the surrounding students chuckle to themselves. I even hear a few ooh, or a few oohs as I walk past Jorichiro. Hey! The fuck you just say to me? I'm sorry. I don't speak loser. Maybe you should keep your mouth shut. Just like Destiny told you. I walk away before I can see his face. You're fucking dead, Edgelord! You hear me? I held up my hand in a flapping mouth gesture as I go to class. Have I mentioned that I hate his guts? He's most likely gonna hunt me down after school, but it was worth it to catch him off guard. It's also nice to hear him do something that isn't acting like an arrogant douchebag. I know I usually tune out a lot of things in school these days, but why does it feel like I already know this stuff? I half-heartedly answered a few questions in math earlier. And I was right every single time. Even the teacher was impressed by how much I apparently studied. That's the problem, though. I didn't study anything. I remember those questions from yesterday. I'm snapped back to reality by a light tapping on my shoulder. I turn around. But don't turn around, 'cause you're gonna see my heart breaking. Okay, no. Daniel? Are you holding up okay? Huh? Oh. Yeah, why wouldn't I be? Well, I just thought, considering the news our homeroom teacher gave us this morning and all. He told this to us yesterday. Yesterday? What are you talking about? You don't remember? You know I don't like joking about this sort of thing, Mio. No. He told us today. I'm sure of it. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. Then again, considering what today is... No. I don't want to talk about it. This is Mio Araki. She is probably one of the nicest girls in this entire school. With that in mind, I don't know why she still bothers talking to me. She's one of the few people in this school who doesn't think I'm some kind of annoyance. That's probably because she knew me before everything went straight to hell. Despite all of that, she still, for whatever reason, considers me a friend. Honestly, I can't even figure out why. I would have figured that new and improved me would have chased her away like it did for everyone else. After all, who wants to be friends with the edgy loner that never smiles? And yet there's Mio. She's still talking to me, and she doesn't listen to anyone warning her to stay away from me. She stays silent as she gives me a concerned look. I miss her too, Daniel. It's been hard on the both of us. I know that very well. She was my best friend after all, but with you. Mio, please.
I seriously don't want to talk about it.
Okay, I understand.
So, going back to your earlier point, what day is it even, anyway?
Oh, it's June 4th, Daniel. Why do you ask?
What? Wait. That's impossible. I take out my phone and check the date. Sure enough, she's right. What the hell? Why didn't I bother looking before? Oh, that's right. I didn't think time would reset on me like that.
Daniel, you look so pale all of a sudden. Do you need...
No, I don't. This doesn't make any sense. Yesterday was the 4th, right? So why... I'm unable to think any further as the bell rings and signals lunchtime.
Meet me during lunch. I'm worried about you.
Before I can refuse her, she gets up and walks towards the door. Just as the wild stampede of hungry animals called students knock her out of the way, Mio lets out a yelp as she nearly falls on her rear. Hey!
Daniel, no! I'm fine.
Just because she's one of the nicest girls alive doesn't give anyone the right to think they can push her around. Mio is very soft-spoken and kind of small, so sometimes it's easy to forget she's there. That doesn't make it right, though. Some people take her being nice as meaning she won't stand up for herself. No one's gonna push her around as long as I'm here. As I charge over there, Mio puts her hand up to stop me. She gets back to her feet, giving me a sad smile.
Stop. Don't get yourself into trouble over me, Daniel. You know she wouldn't want to see you act out this way.
I doubt she would want to see me at all anymore.
Daniel, don't think that way. She cared a lot about you. More than you'll ever know. Please, talk to me later, okay?
Dusting herself off, she calmly walks out of the classroom with me following behind. As I make my way over to the cafeteria, I hear some footsteps coming from behind me. What? Something in my mind screams at me to dodge, so I follow through. Just in time as a fist whizzes past my head. I look back. Oh great. It's the gorilla. You got some kind of nerve. I say nothing as I give him an annoyed stare. Are your ears not working? My ears are fine. Your brain is the thing not working, you dumb gump. What'd you just call me? I guess you've never considered reading a book before. I don't read books. You should try it. You get to learn things that way. Then again, maybe that little brain of yours can't handle so much information. You calling me a dumbass? I'm not calling you for dinner. Maybe I should call you a dumb truck instead. Jericho shouts angrily at me as another fist comes my way, but I luckily dodge it in time. His fist goes straight through one of the walls, making a nice fish-shaped hole in its wake. You're gonna pay for that! No, I'm pretty sure you and your parents will. You're dead, edgelord! Dead! You hear me? I already told you my ears work fine, idiot.
Daniel?
As Jericho pulls his hand out of the wall, we both turn to see Mio. That's right. She was just a little bit ahead of me. A group of students crowd around us.
Joriichiro, you should know better than to act like a... you should know better than to act like such a little kid.
What? Mio gives him a stern look as she walks up to him. She's so small compared to him, and yet for whatever reason, Jericho seems to be backing down.
Honestly, you're acting so immature it's not even funny. Don't you have anything else to do with your time?
Buddy.
But nothing. It's your fault you punched the wall. Daniel didn't make you punch the wall, did he?
Jericho is silent as he backs away from Mio. This is a rare side of her that hardly anyone ever sees. She might normally be soft-spoken, but there are times she will take a stand if she or anyone else... But there are times she will take a stand if she or anyone she cares about is in danger. It's extremely rare, but it can happen. Just like now. It's almost
scary to see her like this. Juricho turns around and runs away, shoving his way through some of the surrounding students. I guess Mio has the honor of being the second redhead girl to totally silence him. As they disperse, Mio turns her sights on me.
And you, Daniel? Him of all people?
I didn't start that fight. He was the one being a jerk about it.
I don't know what to do about you sometimes. Come on, let's get lunch.
After getting our food, Mio led us to the courtyard. I reflexively keep my eyes open for Amy. Considering this whole thing started after I did that bizarre ritual for her.
You haven't been yourself lately. And I'm not just talking about this rebellious phase you're going through. Or the fact that you let your hair get longer. Tell me what's wrong.
I don't think you'd believe me if I told you.
I don't know. You'd be surprised. I've seen and heard a lot of things.
Yeah, but have you ever heard the tragedy of Terankos the Tyrant? I wish I could tell someone, but chances are they'll just send me off to the funny farm if I spill my guts. Yeah, the guys in the white coats will have a field day locking me up. Maybe there's a strategic way to handle this. Have you ever had this strange feeling of deja vu? Deja vu, like I've been in this place before, higher in the streets, and I'm off to go. Okay, well, that's what I'm going through right now, and it's getting on my nerves.
So when you asked me about what day it was?
That's right. I feel like I've gone through this. I feel like I've gone through this stuff before. I feel like I've already gone through this stuff before. I already knew what happened to Natsuki today. Well, aside from Juricho going ballistic on me like a mad cow. That's entirely brand new. Mio looks like she wants to say something, but she holds back. She seems to be choosing her words carefully. You think I'm a basket case now, don't you?
No! That's not what I think at all. You're not a basket case, Daniel. I never once thought you were. There's just... Gosh, I wish I knew what to say right now.
I don't know how to describe what I'm going through myself. It's kind of annoying. Maybe that's why I'm having a bit of fun abusing my knowledge from the future to keep myself from losing my mind.
I can't say I agree with that, but then again, I've never been in your shoes.
There isn't much else I can say about it. At least, regarding what I feel okay about sharing with you. No offense, of course.
No, I understand. I'm not going to pressure you to talk to me about it all now if you don't want to. I just want you to know that you can come to me about anything, okay, Daniel? Whenever you're good and ready, take things at your own pace. You might feel like you don't have any friends at this school, but I still consider you an important friend.
I haven't forgotten. I still don't understand what you see in me.
I'm not the first person to see through to the real you, Daniel.
I stay silent, completely disarmed by her words. I give a long sigh before I look at my food. I know. Thank you.
Of course, Daniel.
We eat in silence for the most part, aside from the odd question Mio asked now and again to catch up with me. I'm surprised she's apparently so interested in me, considering I'm really nothing to her. No, I shouldn't say that exactly. Her main link to me was her best friend. That person is long gone, though. How long has it even been? No matter the case, it feels like it's been an eternity since. No. Stop. Don't dwell on it anymore. You can't. You shouldn't.
You need to move on.
Daniel? Daniel?
Great, am I that obvious? Before she can ask me anything, the bell rings, signaling the end of lunch. I've already finished my food, so I get up and turn to Mio. I'm fine. Now let's just get the rest of this day over with. She doesn't say anything to me as I turn away and make my way back into the school. I don't get a look at her face as I rush to my next class. The day is almost over. This bizarre day will be over soon. Much like earlier today, the rest of my classes seem like an absolute waste of time. I didn't mean that in a figurative sense either. I mean that I've already learned the material, yet everyone thinks I'm crazy whenever I question it. I decide to stay silent. It's a free period again, so I just decide to screw around on my phone. As I'm checking Reddit, to the surprise of no one, Amy approaches me. She's probably here to ask me what happened yesterday. I sigh deeply, put my phone away, and face her.
Why, hello there, Daniel. You're looking rather down in the dumps today. Penny for your thoughts?
You have some nerve coming up to talk to me after whatever you pulled yesterday, Amy. She looks at me startled.
Yesterday? I didn't do anything yesterday. At least nothing that's had a direct effect on you that I'm aware of.
Don't play stupid with me, Amy. You swaggered on over here and told me Nat needed my help. Then you told me that story about Terankos. You also sang me some song and got all freaky with me. And after you finished seducing me with your voice, you made me do that crazy ritual. Hard to forget something like that, don't you think? Her look of surprise turns to triumph as she smiles at me devilishly.
Oh, so you like the sound of my voice? Thank you, Daniel. You're so sweet. Are you falling for me like some hopeless little love fool? In any case, there's no need for us to have this conversation after all.
What are you going on about now?
If you've already done the ritual, that means you're already up to speed on everything. That also means, however, you failed to save Nat.
Are you seriously expecting me to break into Natsuki's house to figure out how she died?
Whatever it takes, Daniel. You'll be repeating the same time loop until you figure out what you have to do. So you're going to do it, and do it right.
Wait, time loop? You mean...
My oh my. You're so flustered. Oh, so that's what this is. So that's what it is. You haven't realized it yet? That's right, Daniel. Until you've completed your task, you're doomed to repeat the same time period. Didn't I mention that to you? Sorry, I do tend to be forgetful at times.
Why, you little... Ugh! So this whole time... Then I'm not losing my mind. I'm just repeating the same day over and over. Good grief. Wait, so if time's repeating itself, then why doesn't anyone else remember? Why doesn't anyone else feel it?
You were the one who did the ritual. Of course you're the only one who remembers everything you've done.
Then what about you?
I don't remember anything, Daniel. Besides, did you already forget I'm the one who taught you the ritual in the first place? Of course I know the ins and outs of it, so I have some idea of what you're talking about. You're such a difficult man. I'm sure I would have told you this, but then again, you are somewhat of a dense little dullard at times.
Why, you little...
Daniel. No fighting in school. Unless you want to end up like Joichiro. Besides, would you seriously hit a woman?
I turn away from her.
Oh, yeah, Daniel. I know about that, but only because gossip travels fast in this school. If I remember right,
Weren't you at least kind of involved with a dour girl named...
I slammed my fist on the desk. Don't you dare talk about her.
You're right. It's not my place. Very well, then. There's no need to be so rough with me, Daniel. I'm not that kind of girl. If you really want me, go on and fool me. What? It's a joke. Well, you're no fun. That aside, you know what I'm playing at. You've got a mission, and you need to complete it to the very end. Don't mess up again, Daniel. Terankos isn't always so forgiving.
The final bell of the day rings and Amy walks away. It's still hard to believe this is all real to begin with, but there's no other explanation. Since I'm like a time traveler from the future, I'm the only one aware of what will happen between last night and this afternoon. Yet that fight with Joichiro didn't happen before. I changed one little thing about the past, and all of a sudden, Joichiro goes apeshit on me. Yeah, there were people who were commenting about that, like, why didn't the fight happen? Well, technically, it's because MC kind of provoked him a bit more by mentioning Destiny to him. Which I did actually write out a scene of, like, Destiny, like, shooting him down and, like, just publicly humiliating him. Unfortunately, well, number one, we're still waiting to see about getting Destiny's sprites made, and two, since it's going to be a canon event in almost every one of our mods, you'll eventually see it. But essentially, it boils down to Joichiro asking her out, and then Destiny basically being like, oh, you'd be a lot more good-looking if you didn't open your mouth. Basically, just totally shutting him out in front of a ton of people and making him look like a big idiot. Hence why MC was here like, yeah, why don't you just keep your mouth shut like Destiny said? And so, because he like really provoked him there, Joichiro basically, yeah, went after him. So that's why the fight happened here, but not in the previous loop. Because, yeah, he changed one little thing about the past. So, yeah, I guess you could say I was going back over some stuff just so I could make sure things were a little more clear. Then again, I'm supposed to change the past and save Natsuki, right? How the hell do I accomplish that? As I get out of my seat, my arms are suddenly drawn to each other as if bounded. The hell? Wait, oh no. No! I didn't ask Amy how the loop would repeat itself. It looks like I'm gonna have to go through this damned experience all over again. I feel myself getting pulled apart as I did before, and my consciousness fades away. June 3rd, 2019. Well, let me go ahead and save that there. Yeah, I think this would be a pretty decent place to stop for now. So, welcome to the second loop, where our objective becomes that much more clear. Okay, so next time, we're going to continue the story. And, well, I mean, if you've already played, like, the original release of STR, then, I mean, the plot is generally the same. The only difference is that, well, considering there were things that people told me did not seem very clear, or they didn't understand, and even references that they did not get about Japanese culture, I removed most of that stuff, and I either changed it with something else, or I expanded on something to kind of take its place to hopefully make things a little more clear. So, I guess whether or not that worked out, I can't say for sure. But anyway, so thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with What Else I Do. Stay golden and later, folks.